here at Empower Field at Mile High, where the Denver Broncos defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 28-3. I'm your team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, standing next to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla. What a complete team performance. Just dominant overall in all phases of the game. What were your overall takeaways from this one?
Yeah, I thought, like you said, it was a complete team win. The Broncos more than 500 yards of total offense. I believe that's their most since the 2014 season. They had their first 100-yard rusher in nearly 3 years. Bo Nix throws for a career high. Defensively, after allowing 2 early third downs, they don't allow one in the last 9 attempts for the Bengals. And it was just kind of a dominant, enveloping performance for this Broncos team. And really all around, I thought this is what we've been looking for, right? The last couple of weeks when the Broncos have gotten that lead, they haven't been able to extend it to 2 possessions. They were able to do that tonight after falling behind 3-0. They don't allow another score. They go up 7-3 and they get the stop, and boom, they go right back down and score again. They extend the lead to 21-3 before halftime, and then late in the game just running the ball, ending the game with the football. This is again what you were looking for. This was a complete team performance.
Bo Nix had a career high in passing yards. It seems like he went back to the basics and just getting to that target, which is Courtland Sutton. What did you see from them?
Yeah, certainly Courtland Sutton is his go-to target when he needs to find somebody at the end of the first half. Kind of an unexpected chance at the end zone after the Bengals had a penalty. He said the personnel wasn't quite right. Sean Payton mentioned that Bo Nix kind of saved the play call, and he said just find Courtland Sutton, throw it to him. But he threw it around to a bunch of guys, I believe 10 different receivers or something like that. Caught passes from Bo Nix on this night. Like you mentioned, a career high in passing. He used his legs, ran in for a touchdown. And I thought really what impressed me is that he took some of those shots down the field, but also found those intermediate routes, those short routes where he was able to find exactly where to go in the defense, and Sean Payton called that really impressive. And yeah, certainly it was a really strong performance from Bo Nix. Had the 1 interception, but I think largely that was on 4th down trying to make a play. Largely this was a really strong showing from Bo.
He talked a lot about during the week about keeping that confidence strong, continuing to throw the ball, and knowing that his team has his back. Another thing that was really impressive today was the run game. R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins, you mentioned, were really impressive. J.K. Dobbins having 100 yards rushing. He seems to play very well against the Bengals in his career, and he showed it again on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's true. He came in with the highest average against an opponent of any player in NFL history with at least 4 games, I believe, and another 100 yards tonight. He said he's going to try to go back-to-back next week in Philly. That'd be great if he's able to do it. But I think what you saw was Sean Payton altered his approach a little bit. And instead of going on a play-by-play basis or specific snaps for R.J. Harvey or J.K. Dobbins, he kind of kept it a series at a time, and that allowed them to get into a rhythm. J.K. Dobbins said, hey, when I have a back-to-back carries or 3 carries in a row, I just get better, and I start playing better. He said it's all the credit to Sean Payton for putting them in position to succeed, for finding ways to help them find that success. But yeah, combined for more than 200 yards between J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey in scrimmage yards. R.J. Harvey gets his first career touchdown through the air. This was the start of an identity, I think, for the Broncos, and they said they're still looking to find that. I think you saw glimpses of it if they can continue this sort of physical approach. And we want to hear this crowd keep screaming when Alex Palczewski checks in as eligible. That was tremendous. He said maybe there's other people worth cheering for, but nice to see him get his moment in the spotlight.
Yeah, this crowd had a lot to cheer about. I mean, they caused many delay of games throughout the course of the game. This defense took advantage of that, and I feel like they had a really strong performance.
Yeah, and listen, I know Jake Browning struggled last week, struggled tonight, but he's a guy that has had success in this league. A couple years ago, he led the Bengals to 4 wins when Joe Burrow was out. They still had Jamar Chase, still had T. Higgins. And so this was not necessarily just going to be a game where you could come in and expect to roll. But the Broncos, after allowing that initial field goal, they did roll. And it started with putting them in 3rd and longs, making key plays. I thought Riley Moss fought against T. Higgins after some early catches by T. Pat Surtain, again, really limited Jamar Chase. So this was a complete team performance. Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper coming off the edge. Nick's 4.5 sacks through the first 4 games are the most by a Bronco through 4 weeks since Von Miller back in 2021. Anytime you have your name with Von Miller, it's a good sign as a Broncos pass rusher. So whether it was up front, the secondary, Sean Payton said they rushed and covered very well. Listen, it's hard to do any better than the Broncos did, which was hold them scoreless after that first drive.
The Broncos get back to 500, and you never sense panic in the building, but there was an urgency to get this win. How big was this?
Yeah, I think you have to get this win, and it was great that the Broncos found a way to do it, but certainly don't want to have one win heading to Philadelphia. It's going to be a tough matchup next week. The Broncos, I'm sure, will be in for a physical football game on a short week. Got to find a way to be ready for that, turn the page, make the corrections, and get ready to go, but certainly easier, as Bo Nix said, to make those changes, make those corrections when you're coming off a win.
Well, week by week, they're going to hopefully stack more W's in that column. Again, we are here at Empire Field at Mile High after the Broncos defeated the Bengals 28-3. I'm your team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, standing next to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla.